Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well. I was just going to take a little bit and tell you about this experience God allowed me to have. Early on the morning of June 4th, 2015, my son woke me up for a drink. Afterwards, he went back to sleep and I laid back down as well. But before I closed my eyes, I seen it is 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. And as soon as I closed my eyes, it was as if I was automatically transported to another time and place. There had not even been enough time for me to go to sleep. And suddenly, all around me is engulfed in this bright white light. It was so bright, and yet it didn't hurt my eyes. I began to see the form of a woman coming from out of the light. Somehow I knew, without a doubt, she was an angel. It was as if I had known her my whole life. I even knew that her name was Anne. Her whole body seemed to radiate with this magnificent white glow that sparkled like glitter. Her long golden blonde hair hung in springy curls, and her outfit was white as well. And by white, I mean whiter than any white I have ever seen here on earth. It was the purest of pure white. The top of the outfit was sleeveless and it was fitting tight at her waist, and the top was attached to the bottom. On the back of her top, it was coming down in a V shape, and in that area, it was this lacy see-through material. The bottoms hung down her legs like bell bottoms. Now on her feet, she wore these glass sandals with these small shimmering diamonds on them. I was mesmerized by her eyes. It was like I couldn't take my eyes off her eyes, for I have never seen eyes like hers. They were this breathtaking blue, unlike any blue I've ever seen. They seemed to swirl and move like a flame. She didn't have wings or look anything like the angels that we depict on earth. As I looked downward and held out my hands and arms and looked down, I discovered that my body was glowing too. Only mine was orange with yellow shining around me. My skin looked perfect and unblemished. My fingernails were long. It looked as if I had gotten them done at a nail salon. They were clear with white tips and with small diamonds. On my hand, I had a ring with a huge diamond, much like an engagement ring. I was wearing this gorgeous white gown that flowed down to my feet. It had short sleeves and it was made of lace and it was covered in pearls and diamonds. And it had a long flowing train that trailed behind me. On my feet, I wore sandals with many diamonds tracing the straps. I also had on a diamond necklace and earrings. My hair was longer than I have it now, and it was hanging in ringlets. Then she began to talk to me, but it seemed different from how we communicate on earth. It was like I could hear her in my head. I never saw her mouth move. She said, "There is many things I want to show you." Right before my eyes appears this long table that seemed to be never ending. Around the table were these golden chairs with these crowns on them at the top. And in the crowns were these jewels or gems or precious stones. And at the end of the table appeared a computer, and it was white and clear or transparent, and then there was a glowing blue light inside this clear mouse. However, I do not remember seeing any electrical cords, but yet somehow it worked on the computer and began to show me these images and videos of things yet to come. First, she shared some personal things that was going to happen in my life, which I have chose not to share. Second, she showed me events that was to transpire here on Earth. It started with this video where there were piles of cars and vehicles smashing into each other. I could hear these blood-curdling screams, and before I knew it, I was no longer sitting at the table watching a video. I was actually there, standing in the middle of the road, watching this complete and utter chaos happen all around me. And even with all that going on, I didn't feel no fear or alarm. When I looked up in the sky, there was, it was just gray and bleak. And I began to hear the roaring of an airplane. And I seen the airplane was going to crash. The plane crashed and exploded right beside me. I could feel the heat from the fire, but it didn't hurt me. People were running around frantically screaming, "Oh my God, what is happening? Where's my baby? Where's my wife? Where's my husband? Where did they go?" Then, right in front of me, I see this Asian woman standing right before me. Tears running down her face, mascara running, leaving black smears on her face. I really felt for this woman and all these people. I tried to reach out and comfort her and tell her all is not lost, that she can still be saved. But she or no one else could see, hear, or feel me. It was as if I wasn't there. I leaned over and peered into the cars. Inside the cars, I seen these empty car seats where babies had been. All that was left are their blankets and clothes neatly laying in a pile on the seat. Likewise, I could see other people's clothes lying around. Then I was pulled back and I was sitting at the table again with the computer and the angel, and she didn't even ask me, "Where'd you go?" It was like I'd never left, or like she knew where I went. Then showed a video about space, and I can see Earth, this little blue ball with white swirls for where the clouds are, and green land, and coming towards it I can see this big asteroid that has a fiery tail and particles of debris is dragged along with it. Again, I get transported back into the video, and I'm floating into space right beside the asteroid. I reach out and touch it. I could feel its rough edges and the asteroid's surface and the heat from it. And I could see the asteroid impact Earth. Then it landed in the ocean. I began to see these flooding waters and big, huge waves coming toward the United States from the East Coast. The extremely tall waves began to knock over these tall skyscraper buildings, and I can see people get swept off their feet by the wave. Then I too am under the wave. I can see the other people being dragged around, and they're hitting into rocks and buildings and other things. But even though I'm in the water and I can breathe and I felt no fear. This was a tsunami, and it was caused by the asteroid impact. Back again with the angel, I'm shown more images. I'm shown an image of a broken road and broken land. And I know that this is a mega earthquake that caused this damage. Next, I seen the words Jade Helm on the computer screen written in red. This was followed by a map of the United States. It was split in two by what happened after this mega earthquake. But what was left of the United States was colored in red and blue. After this, the angel said, "There is so much more I want to show you." It was like all we had to do was think of where she wanted to show me, and I was instantly transported there. All I could see was this silverish color. I began to look up really high, and I could see this sparkle. Looked like a diamond. Then, out of the diamond, water began to come out, and it went down into a waterfall. And then the water flows down out underneath my feet. It begins, as it's flowing under my feet, it makes a street of water. And when it's all flowing, it turns into this river. And the water is like this silverish clear crystal color. And through it, I can start to see these fish, and they are so happy to see me, and they splash and play with me. And I begin to hear music coming out of the water. It's this angelic choir harmonizing. You couldn't hear no words, just vocalizing. It was coming from the water and everywhere around me. Everything seemed to be alive. And then I heard the voice of Jesus say, "You are standing in the river of life." I felt perfect happiness and peace. No pain or fear or sadness. I felt as if I had all the time in the world. I didn't feel rushed. And then I began to hear my son say, "Mommy." At first I tried to ignore it. And then I hear him again say, "Mommy." I looked at the angel and think, maybe I can come back again soon. She smiled and nodded her head, and as soon as I made the decision to come back for my son, the river of life and the angel seems to whoosh further and further away. Then it was like I was transported back into my body. When this happened, I gasped taking in some air, and a tear falls from my eye and rolls down my face. I was no longer in heaven anymore. I was back on earth with my son. And this left me with many questions. How did this happen? Was my soul taken from my body? Did I die? All I know is that I was in heaven. What does it mean? You know, and I just had a wonderful time there in heaven, and it was incredible. And I can't wait to go back. I long for it every day. I've never had any experiences like this before. And I sometimes wonder why God allowed me to have it. But it was incredible, and I'm glad I had that experience. And I'm going to make another part to go with this to explain what God's revealed to me, where there's some things that was symbolizing things and stuff. And in the next part that I make, I will share all the revelations He's given me from it. So God bless, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.